everybody, and welcome back to Simian Jimmy's Treehouse podcast, the only podcast that introduces Florian and people immediately click off. I am Simian Jimmy, not joined by Florian today, but instead one Eggy Eggman Rodriguez!
Yes, sir. So everybody, give it a chance. I'm happy to be here.
That's right. You don't need to click off.
Let us give you a reason first. You know, one might come up in the first 2 minutes here, but give it a chance. Thank you.
When I see people commenting, I heard Florian's voice, I clicked off the video immediately, maybe next time, it makes me think of like a wine sommelier, you know, and you're going to a wine tasting and they say, hey, this bottle of wine is $50,000. Every little sip is worth 10 grand. And I see somebody take a sip of this super expensive wine, and for them, maybe it's a little bit too sour, and they pucker up their face and they spit it out and they say, ew, disgusting. And, you know, as the wine sommelier over here, I'm thinking, this might be an acquired taste, but if you get used to it, it's pretty delicious. I think you might be expecting the $10,000 shot of wine to be sweet, but if you can enjoy how sour it is, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, see, I like to just listen to Europeans talk, because then when I make fun of Europeans in later conversations, I'll have a better, more accurate grasp of how their accent is supposed to sound.
And Florian gives us a lot of legitimate reasons to make fun of Europeans. Like it's just nothing but endless fodder of things to laugh at. So I don't know what there is to dislike, to be honest. Like, you're not supposed to agree with him.
We need that kind of a little bit of that European snootiness still right now to contrast against our American brashness, because right now I heard that in Europe they're running out of like all their energy. Everybody's going to be really poor over there. They're going to be walking around like wearing potato sacks. So we're not really having that image of Europe that us Americans have come to know and love to hate. But thankfully, some Europeans are out there still doing what we expect them to do. We're over here, you know, hitting a Big Mac with an immersion blender and injecting it into our veins. So really, some people are still keeping things normal in this world. They're talking about the new normal, but I really prefer the old normal, where we argued with people based on where they lived and where they come from, where they were born, and having a lot of debate about that. So
yeah, ever since Obama became president, there has been no racism in America, and frankly, I miss that good old-fashioned racism, so I'm glad Florian could bring that to the show last week.
Hey, you know what? If you need some, Austrians always got you covered, and for that, you know what? Shout out to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, I don't want to pull Dark Side Phil here, but you know what I'm talking about, yes, sir.
Well, we're here today not to give Florian a performance review, although I think that would be a fun podcast idea, but because Eggy, 1 week from this very moment, 168 hours from this conversation, we will be filming The Wheel of Cursed Meals 5, truly a milestone landmark in the series. You know, we finally hit the big 05 in episode count, and we're here today to figure out what will be on the wheel. What is the menu full of delicious foods and recipes that we will get to choose from? And I think we've brought in, I don't know, between you and me and the audience giving suggestions, there are probably like over 40 meals for us to evaluate today, and we're really gonna solidify what's going on the wheel, because again, we only have a week, so I gotta go out and get all this shit.
That's right. If anything needs to ferment for 5 days, you know, we got to make sure it's having enough time to get where it needs to be. If we need to get something shipped from a foreign country, you know, some of that Himsel brand hot sauce, you know, we need to make sure it's got time to arrive.
And how many did you bring in? Did you bring in anything to evaluate?
Not really, no.
Oh,
I know. I mean, you tell me you guys got 40 already. You know, I kind of.
I was hoping 10 of those 40 were from you, so maybe we have 30.
Okay, well, here's the thing. You know, I bet probably what it's going to be. I'll probably hear some of these, and it'll spark my imagination. You know, it's like when I write music, I listen to some music before I write music because I need that spark. So I think that's kind of where we're at right now, and I'm really looking forward. You know, if we got to eat some real nasty stuff, you know what, if that's what it's got to be, I'm 100% with it. I want to be pushed to the absolute limits.
Well, we very well might be. based on some of the things I've seen recommended. Some things probably aren't even possible to do, but I'm going to go through all of these different ones one by one. We'll give it a fair evaluation, and then I guess we could say, like, definitely it should go on, maybe if we're desperate and there's nothing else, and like a definite no. And we can just categorize all of these real quick. The first one we talked about last week, the hot cold wings, taking like raw chicken wings out of the fridge, coating them in the hottest hot sauce you can find, and then eating raw chicken. I assumed that would lead to hospitalization and death, but some people seem to think it might be okay.
Yeah, I think as long as we get the organic chicken wings, I would definitely consume that if it landed on it, no doubt.
Okay, so I'll type that into my list. Hopefully, maybe I shouldn't be typing so close to the microphone. That might be annoying to listen to. Maybe I'll keep a mental note of which ones are winning. Eggy, have you heard about this hot new Zoomer trend that's been going around? Is
that the one where they turn their hair into broccoli and they use the cross earrings, and then they do that dance where it's just like them like elbowing to each side and the camera has fixed focus and it's very disturbing to look at? Because I've seen that one.
You think I was going to recommend putting a TikTok dance on the wheel of meals?
You know what? If I have to get my ears pierced with cross earrings and wear like some gay pride shirt or whatever Zoomers wear and do a TikTok dance for, I mean, that's not really a cursed meal, but maybe there could be a meal added to it to solidify how cursed it is, like a bottle of Soylent perhaps.
Well, maybe we could pair that whole thing with this other Zoomer TikTok trend of the NyQuil chicken. Have you heard about this?
No, I thought that was just a regular recipe. It's a trend now. I didn't know. You better enlighten me.
You take your piece of chicken breast, uncooked, you put it in your pan, then you coat it in NyQuil, or in our case, ZZZ-Quil, because, we've had lots of ZZZ-Quil experiments on Wheel of Cursed Meals. And then you bake it, and then you eat it. And the FDA, or some government people, they came out on Twitter and said, hey, you guys better not actually be doing this, because when you bake the chemicals in NyQuil, it becomes like 1,000,000 times more potent, and the fumes from the cooking can like poison you. And I think back to when we did that King Cobra egg Mountain Dew hot sauce recipe, and we pepper bombed my house, and it's like pepper gas in my home. So we might make the same mistake again.
Well, I think it's a great idea, but of course, also, I wouldn't want us to get too tired, doing this filming. So I think probably if we do that one, we should also get maybe about, depending on the ratios, we'll see how, chef style to taste. Let's get one of those Bang coffee drinks that's got creatine and like coffee-like substance in it. Maybe like 8 ounces of that in there too, to make sure that we're not putting ourselves totally to sleep with that potent sleep power.
Is Bang the most caffeine-infused drink on the market? Because we could also just go for like a Red Bull.
Okay,
whatever will keep me awake.
I was thinking like coffee in my mind. Bang is like a super coffee, but I mean, I guess really
shit.
We could hearken to what you just mentioned, the egg boiling. We could throw Mountain Dew in, ZZZ-Quil and Mountain Dew.
They have Mountain Dew energy drinks now. We could do one of those.
And maybe for good measure, maybe just a splash of hard Mountain Dew in there too. A real dank chicken combo.
Now it's like we're really at Cobra's house. I'm surprised we don't have just 1,000,000 Cobra recipes to do. Why don't we do the Wheel of Cobra, and it's just 16 things he's literally made before? Maybe one day we'll do that.
We can get a pie high hat. You know what? I could reprise my previous. I actually have a shirt from Exhumed Visions. Shout out to him. He sent me. It's Cobra with his puppet Sean. So I could wear that for the Wheel of Cursed Meals 5, a real homage to a real dank food hacker.
Oh, speaking of which, we should mention this. And in terms of who will be competing for the crown here in episode 5, I don't know if I should spoil this because it probably won't even happen. But because I love the Measly Few, and the Measly Few are anybody who listens to this podcast, the truest fans a man could ever hope for. I contacted our old friend Biggs Bigsington, and I said, hey, in a week we're doing Wheel 5. Are you interested? And he says he does have work those days, but he would want to do it he said he's down for more torture, and if he can get one of those days off, he will show up. So there's like a 3% chance that Biggs will return, but I'm just thrilled that he was even willing to do it.
We would be happy to have him. Maybe one of you listeners could somehow materialize as a shapeshifted Biggs at his job and relieve him for the day.
Yeah, go climb the 5G towers on his behalf. I assume both of you are doing that job now?
Hey, you know what? If he could do it and I can do it, then anybody can do it. Everybody go get your Department of Labor certification today. You can do it online, and then you can break every bone in your body doing excruciating labor.
And getting great. 5G radiation and probably a bunch of autism and COVID.
And based on my favorite show, She-Hulk, you know what? Superpowers are only a beneficial thing, and that's how you get them. So go for it, kids.
And should we also mention that in case Biggs cannot make it, we do have another rotund, hilarious gentleman who is willing to join the show. Wings of Redemption will potentially be competing against both you and me, which means of the two of us, one of us might be competing twice per round and really doubling down on the torture. Does that sound fair?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, honestly, if we're looking at this at a contestant per pound basis, I mean, basically, it's only right that one of us, by which I mean one of us and our split personality, which equivalent to, double the... Well, listen, I didn't get hired to do math at my new job. I just have to break all my bones doing excruciating labor, but... somewhere in my mind, this is equivalent, and so I'm going to give it that upvote.
Okay, well, look forward to me and Eggy and Wings of Redemption potentially spinning this wheel. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit that one. And we probably won't do the Wings of Redemption makeup again, because that's just going to be a nightmare having to reapply that every 5 minutes. Really,
maybe I should do the Rusty Cage and just dunk my whole entire face in makeup.
Oh, get the Homer Simpson shotgun that shoots you in the face with clown makeup.
Yeah.
And we could basically just have you remove a pillow from under your shirt and then like spin the shirt around so there's like a logo on the front, and then it's like just a normal shirt on the back, and when it's Eggy you can see the logo, and when it's Wings it's the same colored shirt but logo is gone. Maybe that'd be easy.
I'm getting a 4XL shirt specifically for this reason, so, plenty of shirt mobility, shirt fillery. It's going to be smooth like a board of charcuterie, yes, sir.
So whether we have Biggs or Wings, you can expect some real overweight shenanigans on the next wheel. Speaking of which, a lot of the ones I'm bringing in are ones that were on previous wheels that we never landed on, so, they deserve their day in the sun. And next up we have the Gamer Smoothie, which is nacho cheese, Monster Energy drink, Mountain Dew, and Doritos all blended together. I think another Cobra-inspired recipe, maybe?
Yeah, I would say let's get at least one of those tins of potted meat. Remember the potted meat boiled egg nachos? That was definitely very high. That was super high in the dink. The thing about potted meat is that if you ever had it, it's basically just like salty meat goo. So if we're going to come in with the Doritos and nacho cheese, that's potted meat. It's pretty much just going to be for appearance, maybe a little bit of texture, but it's probably going to taste just about as much salty, savory. It's not really going to be anything too contrasting, but...
How different is potted meat from Spam?
It's just basically, if you took Spam and just made it lower quality and
it's worse than firm. Spam.
It's basically it's lower quality because it's like it's like chicken bone scrapings or whatever they call it, mechanical chicken or whatever it is.
Potted meat is separated chicken. That's what potted meat is. It's from chicken bones.
Well, it's mechanically separated chicken, so it's like after they take the meat off the chicken, they scrape the bones for like the pink goo, and then they pasteurize it or whatever. That's basically what it is.
Wow, that is one of the saddest food products I've ever heard of. To be honest, yeah, I guess that should go in the Gamer Smoothie. I don't know if I've ever seen a gamer advocating for potted meat, but you know what? It's our recipe.
Yeah, if we could think of any other, or the audience, if you have a better idea, because I don't think it would really contrast flavor-wise. It would be kind of just
delicious.
Yeah. Extra protein, a gamer, you sit in that chair all day and all your muscles atrophy. You're having osteoporosis at 23 years old. Maybe you need a little bit of that chicken bone scraping.
Next, we have... so, are we putting all three of these so far on the probably list, then?
They all sound good to me. We might as well.
Next, we have baking chocolate. The chocolate you're supposed to use in a recipe and not just eat outright as a candy bar. I think it's just really bitter. I don't know if it's really that horrible.
Well, we could probably find a way to make it more unappetizing. Because it's gonna be bitter, but maybe we could also take it. Maybe we could have it softened a little bit. Then we take a spoonful of coffee grounds, dump that on. No. Maybe we could take a pinch of tobacco, sprinkle that around, just really bitter it up.
Oh man,
on that
you're whetting
mode.
my appetite already. Here's one that I've had sitting in my house for years now, and I would love to get rid of this product. Did you know that they make sexual lubricant that is edible?
Well, I know they made undergarments that are edible. I've heard about that, so I suppose I could have presumed that maybe those would come together. That might actually, well, I wouldn't want to take it away from itself. Maybe a dab of that could go in the gamer smoothie, depending on how much we've got to offer.
Well, I think this could stand on its own. It's a bacon-flavored sexual lubricant.
Okay.
I think we should take a shot of it because it has of all the flavored sexual lubricants on Amazon.com, the bacon one has the lowest score, and every comment says it's the most disgusting, horrific shit ever. And I have not tasted it yet, I don't believe. So, unless, last time me and Biggs were hanging out, maybe I got some of it in my mouth, who can say? But, would you be willing to take a shot of bacon lube?
I'll take a double shot of bacon. You know what? Put that on there. The double shot. We got to specify. No. And you know what? What's more is that it's not going to be one big shot. You have to take the two separate shots so that when it hits your palate and you're gagging, you have to go back and Yeah,
you have to choose to do it again. Like you have to choose to take that second shot after tasting the first one. Wow, you're really torturing me at this point. Like, I'm saying shit that I don't want to do, and you're like, yeah, let's make it twice as bad.
Hey, listen, one of us may be splitting into two different people to double down on these, and you know what? All of these so far are ones that I am willing to double up on, so...
The next one is a staple. I've had this on every wheel. It's the Pick 3 blender, where your opponent gets to choose any 3 things off the wheel and blend them together for you to eat. It's like the ultimate whammy.
Yeah, so far with the things we've been talking about, that sounds pretty good. I could just see bacon lube, cold hot wing, hot cold wing.
Wait, so we're gonna blend up a chicken wing with the bones still in it?
Haven't you seen that? No, we could debone it. It's not too hard.
I guess so.
We could, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll get like a couple boneless chicken thighs just in case that comes up, and if it doesn't come up, then we could just like have that for dinner or something.
Yeah, well, we need those anyway for the ZZZ-Quil chicken or the NyQuil chicken or whatever.
That's true.
Now, the other whammy space I always include is opponent's choice, so they just get to choose one thing that you eat normally without blending it. Really good for strategic maneuvering, like, oh, well, I know I can't do gamer smoothie, but so I'll make Eggy do it, something like that. There's also the Toe of Satan challenge, that super spicy sucker that we both have one of, I believe.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the viewer who I won't, reveal his name because he knows who he is, that hooked me up with that and that other stuff that I...
You don't want to say his actual username on here?
Well, I don't know if... I know what his name is on, like, DMs and stuff. I don't know what his username is.
Well, what's his first name?
It starts with an L, and it ends with a ooey.
Is it Louis?
It is.
Louis,
it might be Lewis.
Louis.
It might be Lewis, possibly.
It's not Louis McLame, is it? Because that dude is lame as fuck.
This guy's very unlame. Speaking of which, he also did send me the nitro gummy bear, so we could drop that thing on the because I don't know about you. You haven't. Cause remember last wheel we had the gummy pepper that I ate.
Yep.
So we could reincorporate, add the little nitro. I don't know if you have.
What is a nitro gummy bear? I don't know about this.
It's like that little dime-sized gummy bear that's supposed to be like the hottest gummy bear or whatever. You can probably, if you like Google little nitro gummy bear, you'll see it.
Can that really be worse than you having to eat a spicy worm that is as big as your arm?
I mean, hey, that thing was pretty tasty though. See, it had the levels, so like that's when I folded it in on itself. You were getting like the highest level, but then also like the lowest level. So basically, it wasn't. Which also, by the way, I think that was not how you were supposed. I think if like the instructions said you were supposed to eat it a certain type of way, so I think I kind of fudged it a little bit. I might have to reclaim that legitimacy of it.
No, we do everything our own way. Fuck their stupid rules. Like the toe of Satan, they say hold it in your mouth for 5 minutes. I think we're just gonna eat the whole thing. So I'm gonna put nitro bear on here then.
Yeah, might as well, yeah, because
Okay.
I've got it to use, so.
So we have 2 super spicy candy options. I think that's a good balance. Next, I don't remember ever talking about this, but you brought it up to me, so refresh my memory. Cotton candy mac and cheese Everclear? Was that a King Cobra recipe?
Yeah, he did, it was a shot he did for a video. Somebody, sent him the bottle of liquor and this cotton candy mac and cheese flavor, which I don't believe it was a limited time. I think it's just a general novelty flavor. So I think you could still be able to find it. But yeah, his dank combo was that he basically poured a shot of Everclear, which is, like the strongest liquor that could, basically tranquilize an elephant. And he added cotton candy mac and cheese powder to that. He slammed it, and then he kind of like the video, he just sits there with his mouth open and he's grimacing severely, and he's just drooling like a fountain all over his like face. It's like pouring all over the floor. He's just like, wow, that's got some kick to it.
Well, I don't know if we can find the specific cotton candy mac and cheese flavoring, but I'm totally down for taking Everclear and like taking like the Easy Mac, like macaroni powder that comes with Easy Mac and like pouring that in there. Or I guess if we go to Walmart and find this cotton candy shit, we can just do that instead. But
Flamin' Hot Choco Mac. Part 2 at Flamin' Hot Everclear Mac.
I've never tried to drink Everclear, but it's what, like 80% alcohol, like the most vile shot of booze you could possibly drink?
Well, I think if we get it down from a store near you, I think it's going to be like 85. I think it's only, now, I might be totally wrong about this. This is some stuff that was like 10, 15 years ago when I first heard about it. It was like only in Wisconsin did they have like the 97% or whatever it is. There's like 2 versions of Everclear. There's one that's like can only be sold in certain places because it's like not legal to sell it in other places. And then there's like the slightly weaker version, which is still stronger than anything. Which might be the right option to go with if we don't want to just literally like fry our throats.
I have rubbing alcohol. We could just do it with rubbing alcohol. It's got to be the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you could use the strong version of Everclear, maybe even the weak version. You can actually use it as like an antiseptic, treatment.
Yeah, I mean, I think just Everclear without the mac and cheese powder is gonna be hard for me. So this wheel's gonna be brutal so far. Speaking of brutal, there's a 41% chance we'll land on this one, Eggy. It's the transgender hormone pills. What do you think? Would you want to get all of those female-y, I don't even know, chemicals in your body? Like if we're taking like 10 of these pills.
I mean,
is that where you draw the line?
I mean, it might be.
Wow.
I mean, well, hold on. But if it's the one that you have the bottle of already, right?
Yeah, in the last Vincent mailbag, I pretended that I ran out, but I actually have not consumed any of them. I still have the full bottle.
Well, because it's basically some kind of herb. It's kind of like how I take herbal supplements that are to promote, healthy testosterone or whatever. I think it's pretty much like the opposite version of that.
I have the bottle right here if you want me to read the back of it.
Yeah. It's not like it's some, like actual straight up like injection of something. So
Right.
you know, I might be willing to give that a thumbs up. You know, I don't want to be some kind of beta.
You don't want to be a chud?
Afraid to you know, take you know, hormones or whatever.
Well, I'll read the back of it and we'll see if we're even interested. Ingredients: bulking agent, dicalcium phosphate, Mexican wild yam, modified maize starch. It sounds like they just took a bunch of Mexican crops and made it into a pill. Anti-caking agent, and it is suitable for vegans. I'm not surprised at all. Nutritional information: each tablet contains on average 50 milligrams of a 10-to-1 Mexican wild yam powder extract, which is equivalent to 500 milligrams of Mexican wild yam. So if we're taking like 10 of these,
so apparently Mexican yams, if you eat them, it turns you into a woman. That's very interesting.
Oh, they're very clear in the directions. Do not exceed the recommended daily intake of 1.
All right, well, okay. You know, I'm always up for a challenge. Yeah, let's put that on there.
10 transgender hormone pills? Okay. I mean, yeah, why not? You know, popping pills, that's what this medication will eventually lead to, I'm sure. So we might as well practice. And that's all the ones that I brought. So now I need to go see what our beloved fans suggested. Unless, while I'm looking that up, did you have anything that inspired you?
Well, what was the one I was just thinking of? Well, talking about the Everclear Flamin' Hot Choco Mac, the Flamin' Hot Everclear Mac. Then I was thinking about, it's pretty abrasive. Maybe a little sauce would, you know, keep that a little bit less harsh. But then I thought to myself, well, if we make the NyQuil chicken, you know, basically if we just bake it to have it made, you know, whether it's, I mean, there's a good chance that it might be selected. So if we just baked it to have it ready, prepare it to the side, and somebody lands on the Flamin' Hot Everclear Mac, we could really take it to the next step. It could be you know, good old mac and cheese, buffalo mac and cheese. We could throw a little buffalo sauce in there, a little you know, shredded NyQuil chicken with the Everclear Flamin' Hot Mac. Really a delectable course.
Yeah, it's almost like the Pick 3 blender, but without the blending. You're just making it into a whole new recipe.
Yeah, so if we had, you know, the wherewithal to do a, you know, Everclear mac and cheese shot or the NyQuil chicken, you know, we could have that be something of its own. But I suppose, yeah, it's kind of basically just a Pick 3 amalgamation.
What is our strategy for making the NyQuil chicken? Because the FDA did warn us, don't do this in your home. You know, like, I don't want to accidentally poison all of us to death. Can we, like, go make this outside on a campfire or something?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at Walmart or whatever, they have like those little. Well, you know, we could actually we go to like a park.
Yeah.
And use one of their like go get one of those tinfoil you know, cooking disposable one time for the cookout. Be like, listen, you're invited to the cookout, NyQuil chicken at the children's playground park.
The sad thing is, if we film that vertically on our phone at the park making NyQuil chicken, we'd get 1 million TikTok views. But since we're doing it professionally on YouTube, we're gonna get like 20,000 views. You know, we're really wasting our time. We could just do the 30-second segment and really hit our virality here.
Well, we might as well just take it. You know, let's go ahead. We'll take one TikTok just to test the waters.
Well, okay, you can put it on your TikTok because I will not put that shit on my phone.
All right, challenge accepted. You know, yeah. I'm not really much for TikTok, but you know, I'll have that little AI voice. Today I tested this recipe. And have like the stock royalty free. Wow, it was so good. Share for more.
Let's find the gnarliest looking grill that has not been washed ever, like just sitting at some public park.
That's true. Well, when you said that, it just reminded me of when Google Foods did that video saying, I used Amazon's cheapest grill and this happened or whatever. So,
what happened?
For some reason, he was like, it was made out of like cardboard and it was like terrible construction that it would like burn your hands to use or whatever because it was just total dog shit. But he was such a professional, that's why he gets the money and he's a big star. He's such a professional that he still made it kind of work pretty good.
Steve MRE, he like has those little tiny, self stove things. Like you just light a match or something. Maybe we could get one of those MRE little whatever the fuck. I don't know. But Vile Carton gave us a whole bunch of recipes to evaluate. This one is called Mama Bird PB&J.
I already know where he's going with that. It's off the title, but continue.
The other contestants chew up grapes, strawberries, and peanuts and then spit it onto bread. That's just horrendous.
That might be even more gay than taking actual hormone pills.
Yes, and drinking lube. So is it a no on the Mama Bird PB&J? Because I would feel bad to be either person in that. Like, I don't want to prepare that for you, and I don't want to eat it from your mouth.
Well, I'm going to say that one we could put in the tentative pile, because if I did it as wings and then, like, ate it as myself, it would still be pretty gnarly, but,
That seems unfair. Like, I think you and Wings have a similar saliva genetic code.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still, I think there's still a cursed component to it.
I guess
we can kind of put that in the maybe. That could be over, like, we'll think about it.
Mm-hmm. And I have not read through all of his suggestions, so some of these might be impossible. There's one called Bone Apple Tea. Bone broth boiled with apples and then drink it. That doesn't seem so bad. Is bone broth especially disgusting?
That's just broth.
Yeah, this sounds kind of appetizing.
I'm sure we could find some way to make it a little bit more unpleasant.
Yeah, we'll put that to the side for now. This one is definitely not going to happen. It's called Gummy Bears. It's gummy bears made with pig semen. How the fuck do you expect us to do that?
Actually, well, it would just be...
You got a local pig semen store up there, you fucker? Like, what? How are you gonna go find a pig and jerk him off? How are you gonna source this pig semen?
Well, they probably have it on, like, Amazon or something. But I was
Do you think they do? There's no way. I'm pulling up Amazon right now. I'm putting in pig cum and see what shows up.
That's actually kind of not. I mean, I'm not gonna particularly agree with maybe that exact application, but. Unflavored gelatin really does open up a lot of possibilities, I will say that. So we could do, because unflavored gelatin basically just drop the packet in boiling water, it turns into Jell-O. So we could incorporate a numerous amount of possibilities into some unflavored gelatin and make a gummy jelly type situation out of things. Now, pig semen, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I Amazon searched it, and the only result is pig semen collection cup, stainless steel pig semen thermos cup. It's a thermos cup for pig cum, and it costs $33. So if you want to drink your pig cum out of the freshest thermos, you know where to. What animals cum would you prefer?
Well, see, the first thing that my mind went to, because they do sell this at outdoor stores, is deer urine. Now, I'm not sure if that's safe for consumption, but they sell deer urine because basically if you put it down or you use it, it'll attract, it's female deer urine, and it'll attract a male buck to the location because they can sense that. So... Now, I don't know if that's safe for human consumption, but deer piss
Two points to that. First of all, I did do a shot of coyote urine in one of the earlier wheels, so whether it's safe or not, I survived. And second, his follow-up suggestion is exactly what you're saying. He called it urinal cake, and it's a Jell-O mold cake made with wolf urine or any other animal urine, so we could do that.
Okay, yeah, I mean, a Jell-O cake's good. Somebody at work, they brought some Jell-O cake for us to have in the break room. So I just had some recently, and I found it to be pretty good. So, and we could even, and I was saying unflavored, but if it was not even unflavored, I'm sure it'd probably just taste pretty normal, I guess. I haven't really drank too much animal urine in my life, so
not yet.
I could be wrong about that one. But
times are getting rough, but not that rough.
All right, urinal cake, that one definitely gets a stamp for me into the, I could definitely give that an upvote.
As long as you know where we can go buy this urine, I'll put it on the wheel.
Yeah, I'm sure I know for sure that they've got some at the outdoor stores or whatever. I'll stop by Cabela's on my way over and get some. Excuse me, sir. Can you please show me your piss selection? I'm really trying to.
Yeah, I'm making a delicious cake, and I need to find the finest animal urine. And they're, oh, okay. Yeah, you're the third guy today. I'll take you straight over. The next one is called Hidden Valley Milk. Add a packet of powder ranch to a half gallon of milk. Okay, I mean, that's probably pretty gross.
Yeah, I think that would go really well in a Pick 3 blender. You know, that'd probably really make some delectable things happen. So I think just off the rip, and something, you know, we're really kind of going like above and beyond on some of these as far as like we're really trying to push the limits of nastiness. I think some ranch milk is kind of a nice, unusual, but not, you know, totally mind-blowing thing that's gonna really just make you wreck yourself instantly. So I think for that, we could probably drop that in. I'm with that.
I do think we did, like, spoiled milk at one point. And I probably should have rewatched all 4 of these to remember what we actually have done. But, so we've done something similar. So maybe, I'll put this one in the maybe category.
Right on.
Grilled cheese, salmon relish tartar sauce, South 7 Seas. I don't even know what the fuck he's trying to say. A grilled cheese with salmon and relish and tartar sauce? That just sounds delicious.
Yeah, I agree. We could maybe, we could take some like Cheese Whiz, put these sauces into it, you know, and then like spread it over salmon. I mean, I don't know if that would make it any more cursed to eat. Like glaze the salmon in this Cheese Whiz sauce and then grill it. I don't know. That still sounds pretty good to me. That's definitely something that would fit in my criteria of what I would eat. But then again, Flaming Hot Choco Mac also fit that criteria. So.
And you said it tasted like warm dumpster juice, and you were really going to town on it. This last one is not possible. Monkey bread, monkey style. You take monkey bread and you top it with In-N-Out animal style fries. We don't live anywhere near an In-N-Out, so I don't even know what animal style fries would be.
Basically, it is fries. It pretty much would just be that sauce I was just mentioning, like the Cheese Whiz sauce over fries. So it's like they take French fries, they put cheese, like a mayo ketchup sauce, and then like some sweet relish over it, and that's pretty much what animal style fries are. So once again, this is just purely delicious. And
yeah, they're mixing 2 delicious foods together. I don't see the problem. Like, monkey bread's pretty good, and those fries sound pretty good.
Maybe we could put French fries into the urinal cake.
That's real animal style, I guess. Okay. Now, that's all that Vile Carton provided. So now I'm going to my Patreon Discord for some real degenerate suggestions. Sander says a 2-minute microwaved capitalism stew. Do you know what capitalism stew is?
I know what Hoover stew is because the Wolf Pit told me.
Capitalism stew is when you just get all of the condiments out of your fridge and you mix them together in a bowl. So it's just like a soup of nothing but ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, barbecue sauce, like all that shit. And instead of a stovetop cook, he wants us to microwave it for 2 minutes so I can have all that shit explode all over my microwave. I mean, yeah, I'm always down to put capitalism stew on the menu just because I did a video like 5 years ago where I couldn't even take one bite, so I do need my redemption.
Yeah, stew of redemption.
Yeah.
You call it that, yeah. Okay, yeah. I've never had a bowl of microwaved condiments. It sounds like I wouldn't even really know what to expect necessarily.
It's not good. It was rough.
All right,
it was worse than I was expecting for sure. Jingles says, drink a cup of orange juice from IHOP with an entire salt shaker poured into it.
So basically, it's just a slightly more palatable version of the Play-Doh from last year.
Yeah, and also we don't have an IHOP here, and I'm not gonna be a patron of Perkins ever again. Low quality, no good, no bueno.
Well, I could see, let me just look here. You can continue. I'm just gonna see if there is any IHOPs on my way.
I mean, why does it have to be orange juice from fucking IHOP? Why can't I do this at home? I could get orange juice and pour salt into it. I don't need to go to fucking IHOP for it, but Rabies says the Titan Special, that's a movie from 2021, whole milk mixed with food grade charcoal and some kind of animal lard. Food grade charcoal, so you can eat that?
Yeah, sounds good to me. I mean, it doesn't sound good. It sounds like something that I would be willing to consume.
I guess I'll put that on the maybe if we don't get, because we only need 16 things on the wheel, and a lot of them are staples so like 2 of them are staples, so if we don't have 14 better ideas than that, I guess I'll put it on. Did you find what you were looking up, or should I keep going?
It looks like, yeah, there's not really any IHOPs really on the way. They're all kind of a little bit out of the way, so...
Yeah, there's one in Des Moines, but that's like a 40-minute drive from my house.
Yeah, it's pretty much, that'd probably be the closest one on my way, yeah.
And Perkins is virtually the same thing, but worse.
I actually pulled up, I was scrolling through, and there's, International House of Prayer is on the way, but that's not...
Oh, shit.
When I typed in IHOP, it came up as an option, but
so
it's not.
For the Wheel of Cursed Religions, we will go to the International House of Prayer.
And drink salty orange juice?
Yeah. Sure. Gozuma says, eat an entire loaf of white Wonder Bread, no toppings.
Oh, wait a minute. We could do the Elvis loaf. That could be an option.
Fuck yeah! Thank God you've remembered that, because I forgot all about it. That's just a loaf of bread hollowed out and stuffed with a whole packet of bacon?
Yeah, and my work just gave me multiple coupons for free pounds of bacon. So they just covered that for us, and it's the good stuff. It's an $8 value coupon, so...
Hell yeah, I'm putting Elvis loaf on there for sure then. And maybe, do we have an Elvis costume for you yet? Because maybe whoever has to do the Elvis loaf has to wear the outfit while they do it.
Well, I could bring my checkerboard suit jacket. That one's pretty good for a coat. I'm sure we could probably put one together easily enough before.
Yeah, I mean, we only have a week though, so we might have to make do with what we have. The next one is from General, the Twinkie Wiener Sandwich from the Weird Al Yankovic movie, UHF. It's really self-explanatory. You take a hot dog and you cut a Twinkie, bipart it down the middle and use that as the bun. And then I think you put something on top of it. I don't remember.
Well, I mean, it just sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Off rip. So.
Well, Weird Al said it was disgusting.
Well,
and he also said, "Oh, go ahead."
Yeah, I'd be willing to, challenge him on that claim.
I think you just put whipped cream on top, so it's, nothing but delicious, really. He also said we should do the Long Island iced tea, but with Soylent. I don't know what the Soylent is replacing in the recipe, though.
I could just add it in along with everything else.
It's like, okay, so I get a delicious beverage and something that people eat every day on purpose? I don't know. That's not that bad.
Yeah, maybe if we find out that 10 doses of hormone pills are somehow, lethal, and we can't do that one in particular, maybe we could
too much Mexican yams, you're gonna overdose.
Yeah, if that is a possibility, maybe we could have, that could be, a part of it, take that and then wash it down with your Long Island soy tea.
That's true. It'll counterbalance all the effects. M says Starbursts, but you leave the wrapper on it. He called it Biggs style because Biggs was famous for eating He was so lazy when he was eating Starburst, he could not be bothered to take the wrapper off of it. He could do it.
That would be tough for me, so I will say that, if I don't have any, I can really swallow a lot of things if I have some liquid to assist, but just straight up, if there was no liquid, straight up wrapper guzzling, it might be a little rough for me, so, if
should we allow a glass of water? Because I'm not against that.
So I just haven't really heard anything so far that necessarily is making me be like, ugh, not exactly. So that would be one of the first things that I have heard where I'd be like, oh, that one's probably going to be tough for me. So if you want to have something on there that could be something tough for me, I can't say for sure. I've never tried it, but
Well,
my inclination is that it would be.
they've all seen me fail at eating a McDonald's hamburger with a wrapper on it, so like I can't swallow paper wrappers either. So if neither one of us can do that, maybe that's one we save for another day. Heartsy says, me and my brother did this once because we thought it would be funny. Pickled shake, a variety of pickled foods, pickles, pickled eggs, pickled sausage, pickled pig's feet, and blended until it was liquid.
That sounds delicious. I'm a big fan of pickled foods, so that sounds like something I would just eat every single day.
Yeah, I'm guessing Wings is eating that right now. He's on that Liquid Richard diet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll still opt. If we need a fill, I'd definitely be willing to give that a try. It might take me by surprise and be absolutely insufferably, hideously awful. So, I'd be willing to give that a go and see what time it is.
Artillery says to boil eggs and noodles with mouthwash. Again,
Okay.
that might be something that if I'm, doing it in my home, there might be a chemical problem in the air.
Now, the real question is, are we going with the alcohol-free mouthwash or not? Because I think that alcohol would really add the extra flavor. I have some 99-cent Best Choice mouthwash that I got from the dollar store. Alcohol full, minty fresh. I think that would be, not too bad. I mean, it would be disgusting and probably vomit-inducing, but, beyond that, I think it might have a little more of a silver lining than we know.
Yeah, I'll do a Google later on to see if it's safe to boil mouthwash in your home. And if they say you will not die from it, I would consider putting it on the wheel. I would like to see the two of you eat Masaoki's Christmas turkey cake, which involves baking tuna, butter, powdered milk, flour, eggs, and hot dogs into a cake with a homemade lemon frosting. Sure.
That sounds like it could be a dank meal hack video all on its own, to be quite sincerely honest. So I'm not afraid to do it. I do think that if we are having a good roster without it, that we could have a Thanksgiving special, a snack tester style, and do a recreation, because that guy.
Oh, you know him?
Oh, he's legendary. People posted his videos everywhere back in the day.
Oh shit!
I think he still might be alive, but he was really the originator of the dank cooking video.
Wow, Cobra is stealing his lunch.
I would say involuntarily. I don't think that Cobra went out of his way to be inspired, but there are some definite signs of likeness, I would say. I could definitely put you on to that man's content when I visit, but...
Sure, yeah. We can binge a whole bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a character that you think I should do a snack test with one day? Does he have a personality worth copying?
It might be a little hard. He doesn't... You not really a lot of him on camera. It's more of kind of just what you see him recording, which is basically as many violations and hazards. And I think, for instance, I think he was cooking something. Now, I'm a little bit dusty on this, but he, I believe, lit some toilet paper on fire on the side of his toilet bowl for some source of heat, for some situation. I can't remember the specifics, but I remember something along those lines, that he used that to light something or heat something. Basically, if you've seen when Cobra had the deep-furted goodness, or the French fries rather, and and he splattered the million-degree oil that immediately caught flames. Yes. That's a very Masaoki energy.
Wow, I need to catch up, because this sounds like a real internet Hall of Famer that I just have not heard of before.
Yeah, he was, he was kind of doing his thing back years ago. The newbies out here nowadays probably aren't too familiar, but yeah, there was a lot of his videos used to get posted a lot, and I haven't really kept up in recent years, but I just remember that back then.
Next, we have another one that is impossible as far as I'm concerned, from literally me, so I guess I have myself to blame. Go into a Waffle House and ask all the employees to piss/spit into a cup and then mix it with Kool-Aid powder. I'm sure a Waffle House employee would be down to clown.
I mean,
if they're not picking a fight with all the black customers and filming it for World Star Hip Hop.
All I'm going to say is, I'm not so big on really caring about the pandemic or whatever, but I think that's probably how you'd start the next one, is just having a bunch of fast food employees spit into a cup and then drinking it. Yeah,
piss too. Like, they got to piss and spit into it.
Oh, and I thought it was an either or. Yeah, that's definitely going to get a no thanks from me. Yeah,
I don't think we're going to find employee. First of all, there's no Waffle House near me, so we're going to have to road trip just to ask them to piss in a cup for us to drink. Might not fit into this video, but when we do our road trip to King Cobra's house, I could see us stopping at a few Waffle Houses to collect some fluids.
Yeah, and if depending on how close we are to Casper, we might not even need to ask. You just put the cup on the counter, and
that's called customer service over there.
As long as they ain't a sicko, you know what I'm saying?
Eggy, this is one I've seen you literally do. Harvey says, keep it simple, 4 raw eggs in a glass. Eggy's egg drop soup.
Oh yeah.
You drink like 10 eggs at a time, don't you?
Well, yeah, when I was over visiting, I haven't kept this up as much as I did at first, and it's not that I had any problems with it, it's just more that I was expanding my dietary horizons a little bit. But when I was over at Jimmy's house, we get up in the morning, and I'm like, I'm gonna have breakfast, and I go over to his kitchen area, and I just would crack. I still have the glass. It's the one from the restaurant in town there, where you get like $5 off your cheese balls or whatever if you bring the glass back for a refill.
Wait, that whatever it is. Here in Ames, you got that?
Yeah, so it's got a sun on it, and it's like $3. I bought the it's that picture. There's one on your Instagram where we're like at the bar. It's from like last August, I think, or whatever. It was when I'd first come down.
Oh shit, I didn't know you got to keep your glass. I wasn't paying attention, I guess.
Yeah, I bought like the special glass or whatever that you can bring it back, and then you get like $3 off your appetizer or whatever if you when you use that glass or whatever it was. But that was the one that I would bring down with me, because in case, I don't think we ever went back there as far as I can remember, but I would always bring it down with me just in case if I had a chance to use it. So I would drink my raw eggs out of it, and it's still in my car. It's just in there at all times for an emergency mug. Sometimes
whenever you happen to have a carton of eggs in the car, you can just crack them right into that glass and get chugging.
That's right.
Cheese into shower also wanted us to do NyQuil chicken, so you're in luck. It's already on there. Eggy, are you familiar with a product called dried beef?
Yes, I am. Yeah, it's the it's really not very good.
Well, this guy Nico Taito wants us to eat an entire jar of dried beef.
Oof. So it's not like beef jerky. It's basically it's like dehydrated shredded beef.
What is the purpose?
It's just a like survival food,
Oh, so when you're really desperate.
Because, people might ask, what's the difference between like an MRE and like a can of fucking Chef Boyardee ravioli? Well, they're both good for this many years and you both have to microwave it. It's just, they're just kind of prepared differently. So that's why I say beef jerky is, it's dried meat, but they put the sauce on it, they marinate it or whatever. They have a certain way of doing it. Dried beef is basically just, when I had it, it was just like, I think they might call it strips, but it's pretty much shredded beef. Because the strips are like the length and dimensions of a shoelace. So quote unquote strips of beef, just heavily salted and dehydrated, and they keep it in like a very strongly sealed jar. It's got some extra strong seal on it, and it lasts for like 30 years.
And you're saying it's not delicious? Because so far, it sounds like it might be good. Super salty meat? Why not?
Well, I just remember I got it one time back when I was in college, because I was like, I was prepping for Doomsday at the time, and I was like, oh, this is a good thing. So I had it in my little storage, and then some months went by, and it wasn't the end of the world yet. I thought the world was going to end in December 2012. Maybe it did. If only. But I didn't really see it happening the way that the YouTube videos told me it was going to happen, so I kind of started...
Or like that hit documentary film, 2012. It wasn't quite like that.
It's very true.
You might need to educate me on this next one. Ami Yu Naruk says Fanta Chris Chan style, and I have no clue what he's talking about.
That means Fanta soda mixed with human ejaculate. So Chris Chan was notable for what he called recycling himself.
Are you?
So
he filmed himself doing this shit?
I think he definitely, I think, filmed himself drinking it. Which also, for the record, King Cobra also filmed himself
drinking his own cum.
Yeah, it only exists, deep Cobra lore here. It only exists. There's like a YouTube poop about King Cobra that has like 1,000 views, and it was uploaded like 10 years ago. And one of the, it's all mixed up like old school YouTube poop, but there's a point where he talks about, drinking his own ejaculate mixed with, I think, Monster Energy. Chris Chan mixed it with Fanta and called it recycling, because that was like he wouldn't lose his masculine or whatever.
Well, evidently that didn't work if he became trans, didn't drink enough cum to stay manly.
Apparently too much going out, not enough coming in. And
what does it say about me that I'm more okay with the pig cum, but when like drinking my own cum is like a straight no?
Well, I mean, when we eat bacon, it's got pig molecules in it or whatever. We're used to eating pig molecules. We're not used to eating human molecules.
Yeah, I don't want to be a self-cannibal here. I'm gonna have to go ahead and say no on the Chris Chan style Fanta, unless you're really dying to put that on there.
Yeah, I think I'll give that a down vote.
It has 3 upvotes. 3 people did a point up at the reaction on Discord, so the people want it. Bloat. So I guess this guy's named after my face in all of my recent videos. Bloat says, did you know Play-Doh is essentially just colored flour dough? An idea for the wheel would be to make bread, pizza, or any other type of baked food using Play-Doh. I think Eggy just eating a whole thing of Play-Doh cannot be topped. Do we really want to do more Play-Doh shenanigans here?
I think that we're probably okay on Play-Doh. I don't know. I know you didn't eat an entire thing of it. So.
I couldn't handle the speck I was given, and you went to town on the whole thing. So there's no way I can defeat you in the realm of Play-Doh. You already won the crown. Yeah,
I could concur with that. I think I'll probably be satisfied on Play-Doh, at least for another round. Maybe next wheel. Should there be a Wheel 6, I'll give it a consideration, but I think for right now, I'm good on that.
Wheel 6 will probably be the Wheel of King Cobra, so, I don't know if he's ever used Play-Doh before. Mama Juju says tuna milkshake, which, honestly, I don't even have a problem with that. I'm a big fan of tuna and a big fan of milkshakes, so I don't even think it would be that bad.
I could also say this, I haven't really brought it up, but that was the first thing that made me think about it. I do have an immersion blender that I could bring down, so if we want to really whip up some, high-class mixings, the blender for the pick 3, you could kind of toss it all in there, let it go, but if we wanted to make like some real homemade, heavy whipping cream and evaporated milk or whatever, and give that a real immersion blender mix, throw it in the freezer for a couple hours, have that real homemade, we could really make a homemade tuna ice cream type deal.
What exactly is an immersion blender? What does it do that my normal blender can't do?
Well, it's a stick blender, and basically for like whipping up homemade ice cream, homemade Cool Whip, or I should say whipping cream, homemade mayonnaise or oils, whatever. It's just a small isolated blender that you can put it into these liquids that you can mix up into something. You just put it down in there and you kind of just move it around, and it'll whip up some cream into whipped cream or stuff into ice cream. That's pretty much like the main 3 uses that I've had of it, is making homemade mayonnaise, making homemade, whipping cream with just the heavy whipping cream and sugar. Because otherwise, it's just kind of simplifies these tasks. But
I would say, definitely bring it down, and we probably will use it, because why not?
So tuna ice cream.
I'm probably not.
Shake with it.
I don't think it should go on the wheel, because I I think these other ones are a little more disgusting. Like tuna milkshake does not disgust me viscerally, like in my gut. I just think, yeah, I'd probably try that just for fun. You know, like to me, tuna is pretty delicious, so I don't really have a problem with it. But you should still bring the blender just in case we need it.
I certainly will.
Chuckwad posted like 15 of them, and we're at an hour, so I'm gonna go much faster now, and we can just like give it a very brief synopsis or review. Microwave boned-in ribeye steak.
Hey, you know what? I watched Google Foods, and you can actually cook steak in the microwave, and if you do it right, it doesn't turn out too bad.
Is it just leathery at that point?
If it's, I think that it cooked to temperature and everything like that. It wasn't even particularly dry, but it's just, you know, the process of it leads to an overall much less appetizing result than if you cooked it literally any other way.
Could we try to sous vide it in the microwave and put it like in a plastic bag with some water or something and microwave that?
We could do that.
Ipecac sweet tea, a non-lethal or, if you prefer, lethal amount of Ipecac mixed into some delicious sweet tea. The sweat can come from... Oh, it's not sweet tea, it's sweat tea. I misread that. The sweat can come from whomever you wish. I assume Eggy will be capable of producing the most since he is the largest and he knows exactly what exercises to do to increase his sweat output. Where can you buy Ipecac?
Yeah, I think that's like a medical thing that I don't know if they would, maybe they do sell it on Amazon.
I think if you like take a drink of it, you just start vomiting your whole guts out, right? That was on Family Guy.
That's correct. There's Ipecacuanha dilution on Amazon. I'm not sure if that's exactly what we're looking for here, but in any case, just because the whole point, I don't want to puke. You know, that's
we're trying to hold it in.
I'll drink a sweat tea if I am able to gather some sweat. I'll go down with that, but you know, because there'll still be an option, a possibility on the table that I'm not going to vomit. It might be likely, but you know, I'm not going right into the hard wall of Ipecac situation. You know what I'm saying?
I think at the end of the recording session, I might down some Ipecac just to get this garbage out of my body. So I might get it for the medical use.
Okay, I can understand that.
Maybe get some inspiration from a couple Airsoft fatty cooking videos. I didn't know he did cooking videos. That was the guy who iDubbbz did a documentary about, right?
Yeah, I got to meet Airsoft Fatty at Creator Clash.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because he was right at the, we went into the weigh-in Friday night, and he was like hanging out in the lobby, so I got to talk to him. He had an iced out rollie on his wrist. You know, he was balling big style, and they had him, sing the national anthem before the fight. So
did he have any idea who you were?
He didn't mention me by name, but he kind of seemed to acknowledge me, and you know, we conversated a little bit. So
oh, cool.
He might.
Well, it says I can't imagine that shrimp flavored ramen, Fritos, and barbecue sauce create a meal that's palatable. I don't know. Airsoft Fatty, you know, you don't get to that size unless you're making some delicious food.
That's true.
Pube cupcakes. Yeah, well, they can't come from me. Yeah, I am sponsored by Manscaped, and I am a fan of their product, so I don't really have much to provide for the recipe.
Yeah, I don't know if there is any place online to get edible hair follicles.
I mean, I think the idea is we have to get it from each other, so maybe we'll skip that one.
Listen, I'll say this. I would be willing to maybe just a pinch. I'm not trying to eat, like a hairball.
I'm trying, like what I'm saying, I don't have any to provide, so you'd have to be eating your own pubes at that point.
Well, that's, if I had to choose A or B, one or the other, I would prefer to eat my own,
yeah,
my own
I could
growth.
See that. Both/all participants puke into a pan, then
pass. No, thank you. No, all right.
Then boil said puke and use to prepare a bowl of ramen. Yeah, no. Is puke like your big no-no there? Because that's the most reaction we've gotten so far.
Well, listen, I mean, anybody that's going to hear you're going to drink multiple servings of boiled vomit and you're not immediately slamming the brakes, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. Of all the shit we've read today, that is not the worst one for me. By far.
I'll stand out and say that one it probably is. I mean, I would say it's close. See, like bodily fluid excretion. I mean, sweat is even one thing. That's not gonna like really whatever, like drinking sweat, but drinking people's piss spit combination from some random employees or drinking multiple boiled vomit servings.
But those are you and me are the only people, so it's just both of us is vomit. And you don't have to drink the vomit. The vomit is used to boil the noodles. You know, we drain the noodles at the end, and then you get vomit-flavored ramen.
You know, if there was some kind of fake vomit with real vomit flavor or something that could be used.
What's real vomit flavor? Like stomach acid?
I'm leaving that up to the experts who would have made this product. Whatever it is.
The good folks at Mountain Dew, when they work on their next recipe, you know, they'll figure it out.
If there is something, I'll say this: if somehow there's like a fake vomit extract or something you can get to add and boil that, I would go down with that. All right, I'll get down. I just don't want real human secretion in my food if at all possible.
Good. Expired milkshake. We basically did that last time. But it's a milkshake where every ingredient is expired. We only have a week. We don't have time to wait for strawberries to fucking turn black. So, Blow Pop, a rip-off of the Gummy Bears, but it's come in a lollipop. I don't know how to make that. What, I look like a candy scientist over here?
Yeah, exactly.
World's healthiest s'mores. A s'more, but replace graham cracker with saltines. Marshmallows must be sugar-free, preferably vegan, and the chocolate must be 100% unsweetened cocoa or cacao or whatever. I guess we could use the baking chocolate for that and replace baking chocolate with the healthy s'more.
I'll give that one a stamp of approval. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Okay, I'll put that one on the if we don't have 14 better ones, it's going on. Jonestown Challenge. I think a few people might have tried that one before.
Yeah, I think that one.
You mix Flavor Aid with potassium cyanide. I don't know if we can do that one.
Listen, if the submitter here, that's Chuckwad, right?
It is Chuckwad.
Yeah, listen, you know what? If you got $50,000 for medical expenses resulting from this, you know what? Just let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to give that a no thank you.
Bug of balls. Eat the bugs. Kill thousands of ants, cockroaches, grasshoppers, spiders, and mash them into a ball and eat it. I mean, that's basically just Rusty Cage's cooking at home.
You could probably get a couple bug packets, rehydrate them, and we could have like bug jello. I mean, that's something but
I have a bunch of dehydrated bugs in my house at all times for my lizard, so wouldn't have to worry about going out to buy them. But I think we've done that enough. Like I did one eating worms. I did one eating, we've done this kind of thing.
Right.
Dynamite pepper. You stuff a Carolina Reaper with Vegemite.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Can we buy a Carolina Reaper around here?
I mean, they have. I saw some dehydrated ones out, but they probably have something that would fit the bill.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I've never had Vegemite before either.
I'll say this, delicious. Worst case scenario, we could, get like some Carolina Reaper extract or something, mix it with Vegemite, and like put it in a jalapeno or whatever. That'd probably be close.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just get the same Scoville, but with whatever pepper we can find. Play-Doh pizza. Yeah, we've already said no to that. Vegan bacon cheeseburger. You get a vegan bun, vegan patty, vegan cheese, and vegan bacon. That does sound disgusting. Like just legitimate food that people actually want to eat. No, thank you.
It'd be funny if I got it and it's like actually super delicious and
you go full vegan, never eat meat again.
I'm gonna roll the vegan burger. I'm gonna roll the hormone pills. I'm gonna roll the Soylent shit.
We're gonna ruin your life.
I'm gonna be the girlfriend in the next mailbag at this rate.
Yeah, well, until you land on the Elvis loaf, and that will fix you, and you'll get all your manly Elvis charm back by eating, an entire pig's worth of bacon.
That is very true. That would be the remedy that I need. So even if I don't land on it, I could just eat it anyway, just to make sure.
Okay, that is the last of the Chuck Wad suggestions. Now we have a few from Major D. The milk steak from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think it's just you grill a steak with milk. I don't know. Doesn't seem that horrible.
That sounds pretty good. I mean, I like a cream gravy on my steak, so this is basically just a thin cream gravy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it didn't have some, or was that a meme where it had jelly beans on it, or was that from that episode?
That might be. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly and liver sandwich.
That's just what I eat literally every single day, and it's pretty damn good.
It sounds like a lot of good protein in there.
Mm-hmm.
The Two Broke Girls smoothie from one of my original anime reviews, which is beets, onions, thumbtacks, spam, and bleach. I don't know if we could eat thumbtacks and bleach, though.
I would be willing to, if we could forego those and maybe find suitable, similar enough replacements. I'm not sure what bleach is supposed to taste like. I haven't really had it.
When I did it in the video, I pretended it was bleach, but I filled the bleach bottle up with Gatorade, so it was just Gatorade when I did it.
Okay.
And it kind of tricked those kids back in 2015. They would believe anything back then.
That's right.
A bucket of KFC, and then he just put in parentheses, disgusting. I tend to agree. I think that might be it. Like, the rest of these are Patreon questions.
50 bags of weed, fucking. I even put it in a KFC bucket. Yeah, it's so good that my body's gonna love it. Shout out to Joe Best.
That's right. Vegan for life until that KFC bucket comes, wafting its way into the room.
That's right. That's the only thing that's gonna make him float through the air.
Well, Eggy, I didn't expect this entire episode to just be reading recipes, but we're actually over time, and I think we've gone through all of them. So when I listen back to this, I'll pay close attention. What are the 16 best ones we discussed? And then I'll send you the official list for your approval. And then I think we'll be good to go in a week if I can go find all these things at Walmart.
Yes, I'm absolutely looking forward to it. My good friend Jordan, he's been needing a little break. He's been out here doing the Modern Warfare 2 beta, and the donations are just not coming in as much as he would like.
So true.
So I'm sure that he needs to take a little bit of a break from these trolls. They aren't even supporting him, and come down, by which I mean come up, and have a nice bite to eat.
And I would imagine while you're in town, we will film another podcast. So if we don't have time to answer all these Patreon questions today, we'll probably just do it next week. Also, while we're planning what we're going to do while you're in town for 2.5 days, I think we wanted to go see that new LGBT comedy film called Bros. So, me and my bro might be going to see that great film.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking to myself, I was already planning on coming down to see my bro, and they got a movie called Bros.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. We're
going to leave the theater with fucking AIDS.
You have to get your card up to date with all your injections just to be able to, you might be a health
You got to get the
risk.
AIDS vaccine before you go see this film. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, after this podcast, go watch the trailer for Bros, and you'll understand why this truly is a very funny movie for us to review.
I will just say this. Thankfully, the movie theaters serve liquor now, so, I'm going in without. If it's necessary, I'll tap on the big button and have that $10 tall beer come through the ceiling to help me, if the egregious butt sex scene lasts more than 45 minutes straight, it's really true to form with the length, then I might have to have a drink to kind of soften the impact of that explicit scene.
And I'm just going to bring the bacon lube to the theater because I'm down for anything.
As they said on Twitter back in the day, it's just bro stuff.
Well, yeah, we're about to find out. We're going to get a crash course in what these types of people think is funny. Because according to them, kicking people while they're down and making fun of minorities is not comedy anymore. So I'm excited to see those people who want to preach from their pedestals show me what true comedy actually is.
Yeah, it's going to be funny. Like, I have no idea what to expect.
I guarantee every joke is that straight white men are trash and shitty. And, that's going to be the whole movie.
I'm willing to give it a fair shake, and I ain't talking about what those men are doing with their behinds in the trailer, so.
Do we have anything else we want to film while you're in town? The wheel is going to take 24 hours, not just to film, but of our natural energy, because once we're done, we're going to be in pain like last time. So we won't have a whole lot of time to, dilly-dally. But was there anything else you wanted to record while you were here?
I think that was probably the main thing. If anybody in the comments section has any ideas about anything you'd like, make sure to drop that below. We could maybe I could sit in on a depression chamber for a couple hours maybe or something.
Yeah, I was doing that, weekly, 2 weeks in a row. Then Eggy comes to town. We're going to do it for week 3. And I said, hey, how about we just go bowling instead? I'll take a week off. And the depression chamber has not returned in those 4 months. Oops.
Well, you know what? We could also go bowling and upload another bowling video.
Yes.
Another round.
Another deal or no deal. Yes.
I think I spent $2 on my gaming card, so I got plenty of arcade money to blow. We could definitely do some arcading for sure.
Yeah, I think after the wheel, we're gonna need some R&R. Maybe we don't need to be reading depression chamber stories after getting tortured.
That's a very good point.
But I think that's it for this episode. Eggy, do you have anything you want to plug? What do you got going on?
Well, I'm going to be working on some new releases on my days off here in these next couple of days. But as of right now, I don't really have anything too new in particular to talk about. So I'm just going to continue hiding in my hovel, in my chamber, and doing what I do. And we're going to make this a no depression chamber. This is going to be a oppression chamber on everybody who says that I'm not about to bring some heat to the table when I come and release some more stuff. But that's coming soon. As of now.
Isn't that the name of Tim Pool's flagship show, The Oppression Chamber?
I actually have no idea. I don't watch Tim Pool. So with all due respect to Timcast Media, I don't. If I want to listen to the news, I just only read the headline.
You pull up TrashRats International?
Yeah.
How often should we do that? Because despite a lot of people being disappointed, it's an offshoot and that the people who quit the show are not returning for it. And they're somehow mad at us, like it's our fault that Rusty didn't want to be on it. But in my mind, they should be thankful to get anything. So how often should we do TrashRats International, do you think? Is that like a monthly show, bi-monthly show?
I'd say I'd be down to do it every couple weeks.
Okay.
I think that we want to give it a little bit of time. I could even see myself doing it every week, but I feel like every couple weeks to get some actual news happening, because every week you're going to start kind of you're pulling up not the grade A material. I think every couple weeks you're going to have a little bit more to bring to the table.
So yeah, maybe every few weeks if we see some funny news stories that we want to scream about, we'll bring that back. Because I think the people who had an open mind and gave it a shot, I think they really enjoyed the episode.
I agree, yeah, and I thought that I was really phoning it in the entire time, and then I was reading the comments, and they're like, yo, Eggy had me laughing, that was good shit, and I'm like, okay, all right, hey, thanks.
I think some people are under the impression that when you're doing like a minute-long rant, that evidently you're like not even saying words, and like they just zone it out. But if you literally just like pay attention to everything you're saying, every single thing you say is insightful or funny or adding to like the conversation. Like you motherfuckers do you guys have TikTok brain that when Eggy starts speaking for more than 1 second, you zone out? Like, I think you're not giving yourself enough credit. I think you are the highlight of the episode for me.
Well, thank you. You know, I understand the thought process behind those individuals because every time I start talking to any woman in real life,
You zone out?
they give me that King Cobra eye. They go separate directions. And so maybe it's because I'm not Chad enough, but it is what it is, YouTube.
Well, for Simian Jimmy's Treehouse Podcast, I have been Treehouse Podcast! Bye, everybody.
It's your boy, Mr. Rodriguez, signing out. Smash that like button, drop those comments below, and peace.